What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Reverse 1999 video. I apologize, guys. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. The reason why, actually, I've been super busy with everything else, but I have not been ignoring the game. I've been doing my dailies every day, and I wanted to talk about something today that was brought to my attention by a few people, and it got me thinking. I don't know if this topic is actually true or not, but I wanted to get your insight, and I want to kind of give my point of view on the actual situation. So, I have a lot of friends who play this game. I have a lot of friends who quit this game. I have a lot of people who I recommended this game because I think this game is absolutely top notch. I have those people who play the game, agreed with me, but then also quit. People are quitting left and right that I know, and I don't understand why. So I decided to ask a few of them. I was like, what was the problem with Reverse 1999? Was it the lack of gameplay? They said no. As a matter of fact, this game respects your time so much that they just have to log in once or twice a day, do their dailies, and move on. So I was like, well, what's the issue? Well, it seems like the game is very complex for the average gacha gamer. Believe it or not. It's crazy to say that. Now, I'm not saying by any means that average gacha gamers are stupid or lazy or whatever, but when you think of mobile gaming, a lot of smart people play mobile gaming, but they come here to unwind and they come here to relax, and they don't want to put all their mental capacity into understanding how a game works. And Reverse 1999 is in fact a semi-complex team building game with some things that make it different than most others. Let's talk about some of the similarities between this game and most other games. Affiliations: beast, plant, mineral, dark, light. Pretty straightforward. All gacha games have that. No issues there with most people. Where the complexities come from is with the two major systems. Number one, the insight systems, which essentially give the user or the unit more abilities or passives that make them stronger. A lot of people have a hard time understanding how this works, and there's a lot of text behind it. For example, someone like Blondie is really easy. After casting an ultimate, critical rate and critical damage increase by 20% last 2 rounds. Critical damage plus 15% when caster enters the battle. Reach Insight 3 after casting an ultimate. Critical rate and critical damage increase by 10%. Very easy to understand. And then there is ones out there that are a little bit more complex, right? So for example, Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy, if you look at her insight, is almost a novel. Most people don't want to read this. I've learned that. A lot of gacha gamers don't want to do all this reading. It is a little bit too much for them to take on. Again, people come here to unwind. So it's funny, I started thinking about this. I was like, is it really true? Like, is this game actually difficult for a lot of people? And I started to realize, yeah, actually some people are having a hard time keeping up with all of the mechanics, all of the team building required, the difference between mental and reality, the difference between what a stat down, negative stat, and a control is, the difference between a buff or the incantation changing completely when you go from a 1-star to a 2-star to a 3-star, you know, understanding who's a healer and who's not. The descriptions are a little bit off sometimes. So there's a lot that's going on in this game that can confuse an average gacha gamer. So, is it true? Do I believe in this? Like, for example, the resonance system. A lot of people are confused by it. Hey, like, how do I get more of these? What does this do? Well, like, what does each stat go, you know, what is the purpose of each stat? Like, all of these things are questions a lot of the average gacha gamer is asking, because a lot of these stats in some games do exist and some games don't exist. For example, having reality defense and mental defense rolled into just defense is what most people are used to. Not understanding what a reality damage dealer or mental damage dealer is kind of complex for some folks. Even though for us, the more avid gacha gamer, this is normal, right? So I think a lot of this has to do with descriptions in the game being a little too long, a little too complex. Some of the systems are a little bit more complex. Building teams together is complex. Understanding which side cubes work with which units is complex to a lot of people. And a lot of the complaints actually came from the events. Now, the events themselves, in my opinion, are the best part of this game. So I was trying to ask people, like, what is the hard part about the events that people are struggling with? Well, it's actually things like this, where some folks hate the fact that, number one, auto doesn't do a very good job playing the game for them. And let's be real, a lot of gacha gamers play this game, they put money down on it, they set it to auto, and it's a loot pinata for them, right? It's just something for them to unwind in. Again, something like this here, end the stage with a 3-star incantation. Pretty straightforward for most people. Some people don't even know what an incantation is. So these are the kind of things that upset people and turn them off. And then of course, you can see here, all sacrifices your moxie every time a character loses moxie, the spell stats down, etc. Right? All of these extra special challenges are very daunting for a lot of people. So I don't think, for people who are discouraged about this, it's not your fault. I think I understand where you're coming from to some extent. It is a lot to take in for someone who's used to just clicking auto and watching the game play. It is. Reverse 1999 is, in my opinion, the epitome of a top-notch quality game where the devs care about their product and they put a lot of effort into it. And sometimes too much effort can sometimes backfire on a platform where everybody wants simplicity, right? So I'm finding a lot of folks are quitting for that reason. And now it's not to say it's the game's fault. By no means is the game's fault. And again, it's by no means the player's fault. But I haven't seen people quit this game because they don't like the game, or I haven't seen people quit this game because the quality of the game sucks. It's funny to hear that. It's the complete opposite. It's because the quality of the game is super, super high. So for those who are like considering leaving, my suggestion is simple. Try the game a little bit more. See if you want to at least put a little bit more effort in reading and understanding the units, and maybe watching some of your favorite YouTubers' videos. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there who put really good content out there, and see if it can help you understand the game better. I feel like a lot of people who are playing this game and leaving this game are leaving it prematurely without giving it the proper chance. Now, of course, there are some who have every reason to leave and they don't like the game for what it is, and that's fine. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and it never will be. But for those who are leaving due to complexity reasons, I highly recommend just trying again. And I think you guys will love this game. I've never played a game, especially in the gacha scene, where I've been so impressed by it that I've recommended it to so many people. I have. And the one thing like a lot of people love about this game is the fact that it does respect your time. And I think that goes without saying that this game is in fact one of the most simplified daily games I've ever played. Like literally my dailies will take me like 3 minutes to finish and I'm done with the game. So for those who are lacking time, you're doing really well. And I know the events can be a lot, but you remember, you don't also have to do them all, right? And I know Limbo's another one. Limbo's another one that people complain about. They hate the fact that it changes every week. They hate the fact that they have to do it every week. In order to get some of these clear drops, especially if they're free to play. It's the only form of actual consistent clear drops that happen if events aren't going on. And that, again, is totally understandable. But if you didn't have Limbo and you didn't have these events, this game would be a shell. It would just literally be log on for 3 minutes, collect your loot, move on, level up a character, get your wilderness, and you're done. The Limbo and the complexity of this game and the events is what makes this game special. So for those who think it's too complex, I think give it a try again. Maybe just focus a little bit on a couple units that you like, look and feel, understand some of the basic mechanics, and I think you'll love this game again. But for those who are quitting because they truly just don't have the time to do a lot of the juggling that this game has to offer, that's totally understandable. But I'm curious, guys. I'm bringing this topic up because I want to know what the community thinks. Do you guys think this game is too complex for the average gamer? Like, is this, does it demand too much from the average gacha person who logs in, logs out, lets auto do all of its work? I made this video because I just wanted to bring it out there for everyone to kind of talk about. And, if the devs ever see this, something for you to consider as well, too. Maybe there does need to be a little bit of simplicity, or maybe leave it as is, and those who quit, those who stay will stay because they love the masterpiece that this game actually is. All right, guys, this is Payne. Again, just a topic I wanted to talk about. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.